Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Rutledge and I would like to discuss the evolution of Nike and the effect that it has on the world today. I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time, but I would like to discuss and get to three main points about Nike. First, the word Nike comes from a Greek mythology and its meaning is the winged goddess of victory. Phil Knight, who was pretty much the inventor of Nike, was actually a track runner at the University of Oregon. After he graduated from college, he later on became a professor and a teacher, but he still had love for the track and field. So by him not being on track and field anymore, he still wanted to have something to do with it and play a big part in it in his everyday life. So he had the idea to come up with the running shoe. He paid one of his students $35 to come up with the logo, and she came up with the swoosh logo. That's the logo that you pretty much see on today's t-shirts and tennis shoes and on every commercial here and there. Phil Knight met with a Japanese running shoe manufacturer in Japan named Tiger, and from there he pretty much got 8,000 pair of shoes and pretty much sold them out his trunk, and later on to make $1 million targeting sales. That was in 1964. By the late 70s, Knight went from $10 million to $270 million, and he later on changed the name from Knight to Nike. By 1997, Nike has targeted $12 billion in sales, and by the year 2000, they went on to sell $250 billion. Over the past years, I had pretty much discovered how Nike increases their sales, where their shoes sells $10 every year. I remember back then when I was growing up, Air Jordans pretty much were, I want to say, around $90 to $80. Now today's a pair of retail actual Michael Jordan shoes are $190 a pair. With that being said, I guess the cost of living raise, everything has gone up, so has the shoes gone up. I would like to get in discussing the performance in the shoes. In 1972, he came up with the Moon shoes, which were a great seller, and also for athletes competing in the Oregon Trails in June of 1972. And then 1974, the Waffle shoe came out, which later on became the best-selling shoe for him. And let's get to the after he pretty much done the track, he wanted to expand his business to the basketball side of the map. This is 1982. He later on became with the first basketball shoe, the Air Force One, which is still worn today. It's a popular shoe, high top and low top. He later on came out with the Nike Air Max shoe. The Air Max shoe is a continuous shoe from the Air Max 1, and later on today we still have the Air Max 2015 that they sell on the shelves. It's a great cushioning shoe for running, track, anything like that. Comfort-wise, it's probably one of the best shoes I've ever put on. Fast forward later on to the year 2000, when he came out with the Nike Shox. The Shox was a great running shoe, also a great shoe as far as performance-wise. It was a great seller today. Everyone still uses the Shox today. It was pretty much one of the research development Nike unveils, the radical different cushioning in the technology. Using the materials, engine mounts of race cars, designers are able to provide stable spring-like pairs of resistance for the generation of runners. Today it's all about shoes being light. No one likes a heavy shoe like that anymore. So the lighter the shoe, the better the shoe. They figured if you're lighter, you're quicker on your feet, your agility is a lot better. So the latest technology that Nike released in 2005 is the Nike Free. And Nike Free has become one of Nike's best sellers also too. I know it's coming from the Free 1.0 today in stores that has the Nike 5.0s, Nike Free 5.0s, excuse me. Next, I would like to discover a new wave of technology to keep up with the way you run, and where you can hook up your iPhones or iPods to keep up with how fast you go, how far you go, and your heart rate. That's one of Nike's technology that they teamed up with Apple and did. In late 2008 for the Olympic Games, Nike came up with the Flywear. It's pretty much how I was saying how the free run's pretty much light, but they needed a basketball shoe that was light on the athlete's feet where they wouldn't roll their ankle or hurt their foot, but also be light and had enough stability to do the performance on the court. So they came up with the Flywire, which is actually a basketball shoe that I like to play in today's time. Last but not least, let's get into how today's culture, and as far as how shoes become the new it thing. It seems like, you know, the retros, you have the Kevin Durant signature line, you have the Nike LeBron signature line, you have the Kobe Bryant signature line, which are pretty much four main people who represent Nike, who bring in most of the money for them. You see all the hip-hop artists, you see the movie actors, you see the pop artists. Everyone seems to have on a pair of Air Jordans or Kobe Bryant's or LeBron James. It's pretty much, if you don't have any, you're not in or you're not it. Well, that's not the case though, but I would like to think so. But anyway, thank you for taking the time to listen to me today, and I hope you have the pleasure of talking to you again.